And Infernal Shrines. It is the pick by KT. That means that our good friends from CE are going to have first pick, first ban. Now, what can they do? What are they going to fall back on? We haven't seen a single Alufal Genji, by the way. And we're not going to see any in this game.
Yep, they ban it out from themselves, which is fair because Hape is a really good Genji. Which means, with my Ev banned, if they first pick Malfurion now, that means we could see a Lufal Tracer.
Yeah, that we could. But you mentioned Hape and Hope. Whoa, both teams have their battle plans at the ready. They're not wasting any time. And the Deckard plus Dehaka, that's a rather unusual response, I would say. Deckard, I can understand. You know, he's probably one of the few top-tier supports in the game that can best a Malfurion successfully. But the Dehaka, I'm going to tell you this one thing, Tetra. There's a player called Lycia, now known as Hikari, on the team of KT, and he is a beastly Dehaka.
That he is. So seeing that picked up so early is really cool here. CE though, very little chill as well. We finally have Wind back on the Garrosh, so that's going to be pretty good. Especially if they ban out Johanna in the next rotation, that'd be super cool. And they have Jaina likely to be a KTY hero as well. So already a very solid opening coming in for CE. In theory, though, this Jaina could also be an Alufal hero, as we've also seen Juju playing some ranged heroes these days.
Absolutely, and I think KTY is now completely, put on this bruiser role. And Juju, in most cases, will always go for that secondary ranged assassin flex. Let's see if it's going to be true in that case as well. Bans are now to be taken. And do you think we're going to see a Johanna once again by Timeless, or is he going to surprise us with something else? Maybe a Muradin, maybe a Diablo?
I want CE to ban it. Unless they feel like banning something like Hanzo, I think banning Johanna, which is the best support, best tank, versus Garrosh, makes so much sense to me.
Yeah. And the reason why Johanna is so good against Garrosh, of course, is because of Iron Skin, first of all. You can deny the combo, but even, if you end up getting flipped, you're normally not going to die anyways, because as long as you have Iron Skin ready, the follow-up CC chains, the follow-up damage is not going to be that efficient onto you.
Exactly. So what are they going to ban? It's going to be Johanna or maybe someone like Hanzo. They don't need to ban a support, so Hanzo, Phoenix, something along those lines. Muradin. So they fear Muradin more than they feel Johanna. This is fair because Muradin can put a little bit more backline pressure onto people like Jaina. We see Phoenix stolen away here. Very sensible because there's a Jaina on the other side. You don't want to get caught out by that.
Yeah, I think so too. Muradin is a little scary because if you don't have a dedicated tank shredder in your team, or you're not planning on to picking any, then Muradin can just be this obstacle that you cannot overcome. With the Johanna, it's a little easier because she's not as mobile, because she doesn't have the avatar to boost her tankiness even more, for example. So now they just need to make sure to... I'm going to say this, Tetra, man. Varian, I know you don't like him too much. I know the pros don't like him too much, but a Varian with Shattering Throw against the Johanna would have been golden. But of course, they already have a Garrosh, so we're probably not going to see that.
Also, on the current patch they're playing on, I'm pretty sure that shield breaker talents aren't allowed.
You may have a good point. True.
If they're playing on the patch I think they're playing on.
True.
I can't read Chinese, so I don't know. For now, though, we see Thrall. This is their solo lane. And Hanzo as their damage. So Zhu is very good on this Thrall, but I wouldn't mind to see KTY. And KT, though, bringing out the hammer. They have one hell of a front line to protect this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, where are all those resident sleepers now in the chat complaining about hero diversity? Because that is a new one. We've seen the first appearance, or we're seeing the first appearance of Sergeant Hammer in China. Of course, if you've been watching the mid-season brawl, then you know what Genji was able to do with that. I'm not sure if other regions have played it in the HGC.
HGC EU played it. Okay. It was brought out by, I believe, Team Liquid in Team Liquid versus Fnatic.
True, you're right, but Tassadar, I believe, even, right?
Probably. All I know is they picked the extra knockback range, which I found to be a little peculiar, but it worked really well.
And they had the infinite BFG at 20. I remember that. I remember. It was good against the monkeys.
Yeah. And of course, Korea pick it whenever they feel like. AKA Genji.
All right, it's hammer time. Let's go. I feel very...
I expected it on.
Sorry?
This is not the map I expected it on.
Yeah. Is Hammer map dependent though, if you play it this way?
I'd say so. I think Hammer should be usually Infernal Shrines or Volskaya, something where you're going to have a lot of area control. In this, yeah, you have area control, but it's in your lane. So you're still going to have a fair amount of trouble actually keeping up with the lane. Like, if you're in either of the lanes, you're going to be able to hit the minions. So I guess you can go there. This is where she used to be played. So, okay, I'll accept it.
All right. And let's see if CE is going to accept and respect it, or if they have something planned against the Hammer last pick. We're going to go right into the action here. Game number 1 on Dragonshire between KT, Kudos top, and Challenge CE. On the left-hand side, in the blues, we have KT, Hope playing the Phoenix, Timeless on that Johanna, TWT on the Deckard, Hikari on the Dehaka, and Hape, or Hape, is the Sergeant Hammer.
And on the right-hand side, our ex-HGC China champions, it is CE with a Lufel on Hanzo, Wind on Garrosh, 365 on Malfurion, KTY on Thrall, and Zuyu is playing Janus. Yeah, it appears there has been an official swap of ranged flex to melee flex in between KTY and Zuyu. And yeah, I don't know why I said ex-HGC China champions. They are the current champions, so we will see if they can just keep that title as we go on. Also, already, we're mixing it up a bit here with advanced artillery coming in here for the Sergeant Hammer as opposed to the usual ambush.
Yeah, definitely true. So no stealthy stealth, no sneaky sneak.
Splash. Yes, extra splash instead.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's more damage the further away you are from your target, right?
No, it is just extra 25.25% because confusion. Basic attack damage is increased to the splash damage, and the splash damage radius is also increased by 25%.
Okay.
So basically, just more splash damage wider.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that in such a complicated way the first time.
All goody in the hoodie. So let's see how much they can do here with Hape already taking a little bit of pressure. But the beauty, or the beautiful thing about this team comp is, of course, that Deckard King, you can see it here. He's got almost infinite healing with low cooldowns. Hikari needs to be careful. Why isn't he going all the way to the towers? He probably wanted to have the movement speed from the bushes, but that looked a little weird.
I mean, he got ganged up on. He'd already used Dark Swarm, so he couldn't get back to his towers. So he was just picked off there. It was nicely executed. As we see a lot of pressure onto Hope here, Blizzard. And so the strategy seems to be that, yeah, Hammer's going to win bot lane, so we're just going to literally kill everyone else.
Exactly. They're actually letting these towers go just like that because they realize, you know what? The more they commit to this with 3 people, you know, protecting Hape on the Hammer all the time, the more we're just going to build up the pressure in middle, the more we're going to build up pressure in top. And they did a pretty good job so far in terms of soaking CE because despite losing 2 towers, they are still ahead by a large margin. And look at that, 2 minutes on Hanzo, and he's already fully stacked on that simple geometry.
That's pretty good. I would also like to... Oh, Zhu will get out this time. Hope not able to pick up that kill. Now, Timeless in danger, but it's Timeless, so he's fine. You can see that Arsenal synergy AoE there being used to try and punish Zhu. Not enough to land the shot, though. But at level 20, Sergeant Hammer with the bottomless flasks just placed underneath her is going to be rough.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I think that's basically their ultimate power spike, right? You're going to have the double BFG if Sergeant Hammer ends up going for BFG, which I think she will. And on top of that, the bottomless flask, as you said, to basically ensure that she's never going to get bullied out of position again. And the more buildings you actually destroy in the early mid-game, the more you're actually going to have an easier time in the later stages of the game to hit the core, to hit the keeps, all the juicy targets, basically.
Hammer has many problems, but dehydration is not one of them, as it's getting many potions. As TWT will, however, suffer some serious trouble. The Blizzard is good, the potion is better, though. And as such, TWT is able to survive, and that hammer damage forces everyone back. Yeah, and Sneaky Hope. Nicely done.
Okay, so here's something I didn't understand. First of all, they went for this greedy play without actually securing the shrine first, right? So they were actually running the risk of giving up on the Dragon Knight. And secondly, I don't think 365 on the Malfurion had a roots ready, right? Because he didn't cast them after the Deckard King was body blocked and flung by Garrosh. So maybe slight miscommunication there. Normally, you need to make sure that you have enough follow-up CC to actually get the kill.
That's true, but in this case, wasn't able to happen. Siege Tactics was used, and then immediately Hape was rooted anyway, but doesn't appear to care that much. Has finally taken Hover Siege. so is going to be able to begin burning this down pretty effectively. In the meantime, Hope continues to wreck mid lane. I'm going to be honest, this KT strategy is working pretty well.
It is working mighty fine, Tetcher, although CE had multiple attempts, actually, of making something happen here. There goes the roots, but the tankiness, they just can't kill the hammer. They can't handle it.
The Wind tried to throw the hammer, but Siege Tactics prevented it, so he actually hit no one. Luful is delivered onto TWT, though. This could be an attempt at a kill. And actually, this could be back, but never mind. Luful too good for that. Not going to get caught out.
Yep. So far, we haven't seen Thrall in all those engagements, though. It's a 5 versus 4 situation right now. Hype just remains in hover mode all the time. But what looked like a really solid early game in terms of soaking for CE is now turning into a disaster because KT has already caught up on the experience and they continue to push, and the Siege Giants are going to help out in that regard. And so far, man, this TWT Hape combo on the Sergeant Hammer and the Decker Cane seems to be the new hotness. I like it.
Definitely working. They are in full control. This just protection of the bot lane. This is very old-fashioned. The protect the hammer comp. Yeah. We haven't seen that kind of comp in so many years, but right now, in bot lane on Dragonshire in 2018, it's working.
So I wonder which heroic ability we're going to see from Thrall here, because I can see the Sundering being actually really good here when it comes to flanking and, you know, catching up on the hammer.
It's got to be Sundering. If he go, sorry, it's got to be Earthquake. Sorry, if they go for Sundering, then it's just going to take one Siege Tactics to just completely disable that. Johanna's also got an Unstoppable. Zahaka's got Burrow. You've got so many ways that you can just completely miss that. Earthquake's the only one where you're guaranteed to get at least partial value.
All right, here goes big damage on the Sergeant Hammer this time around. The wrong toss target, though, unfortunately.
Siege Tactics again, preventing Hammer from being the one getting tossed, and now Wind will fall. No, Moonfire Burst healing might keep Wind alive, gets the knock up. Moonfires are so good, but it's not enough. And Hope from the other side, this might be a white KTY, the only survivor.
And you know what saved the day here for KT, or basically ruined CE's day? That was the Emerald Cube once again. Minus 75 healing on everybody. That means all the healing currently affected by Malfurion, you know, several regrowths, are not going to tick at all. Garrosh's self-healing was also diminished. Now look at Garrosh here. Actually a good idea to really go for the hammer, but as you said, Siege Tactics, so strong to keeping Sergeant Hammer alive, and then he throws in the Johanna out of all the heroes. It's a strong survival move here, but now look at that Emerald coming in at the golden moment, hitting 2, 3, 4, 5 members. No more healing at all.
Yeah, the Merc Camp was acquired. The Jaina Blizzard very nearly killed off someone, but it wasn't enough. Thanks to that spell shield from the Mercenary Camp. That's actually what saved them there, as they do push forward. So everything went right there for KT. They now have level 10. They have a Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight pushing mid. Sergeant Hammer back to work. Back to the grindstone, killing bots.
And you know what, Tetcher? I think this game pretty much underlines something we've been saying multiple times already for HGC China. If you adapt, if you are willing to try out something new and unexpected, you're going to triumph. And the game is not over, mind you. CE still has plenty of time to come back, but, and here comes the big but, KT is already looking mighty strong here. Look at that. They're sieging up at the bottom, destroying the first tower, or at least getting very close to it. The Dragon Knight is still causing a lot of commotion and a lot of confusion in the middle lane. And Dehaka just refuses to lose the lane, top lane, against Thrall.
It just won't happen. They can't get it. Indomitable use, because they're going to try and grab Hope after this. There's the taunt, Dragon Arrow, and bye. Good job killing off the Phoenix, but in comes the isolation of the BFG from behind. The Earthquake as well, though, will prevent the chase. It's going to end up being a 1-for-0, maybe a 2-for-0 if they can get Hikari here. Burrow is used. There's the toss. The Scroll of Sealing might give Dehaka a chance to escape, but it's not even close.
Yeah, Hape is trying the best he can to really get additional value done here. Nice knockback, and the roots are good too, but the Turbo Boost is here to save Sergeant Hammer once more.
He actually used the knockback on Hanzo while he was jumping over the wall, so just like Hanzo did a backflip. That was super cool.
That was very nice indeed. And now what can they do? Phoenix is back online, and a lot of heroic abilities have been used with the exception of Purification Salvo. So maybe they can get the job done here, defending the Mercenary Camp. Those kills actually netted so much experience over to CE and gave them so much momentum that all of a sudden they look pretty okay. 13 is still not there for them yet.
13's not there for them yet, but this is still looking good and in control, especially structure-wise for KT. This is their game to lose at this point, but CE are very much willing to try and make that happen. As we see Garrosh scouts this out, realizes his team aren't close enough for him to try the run-in, so backs up safely.
All right, Timeless scouting out where the Wind engaged could potentially come from. I think he has been doing a wonderful job, by the way, up to this point, to always, you know, be there where Wind doesn't want him to be. Like, Garrosh tries to make an engage happen, tries to make it land on Alex, not Alex Strasser, would have been a good target too, but Sergeant Hammer, and all of a sudden, Johanna is there. You know, Sergeant Hammer is unstoppable, knocks him back, and Johanna ends up being the target that's flung into the backline of CE. And that is a disaster. You don't want that to happen here. Double mercenary camp, so both teams now protected against spells a little better. Here goes Timeless, Bless Shield, triple slow.
Not enough though. Jane are able to pull back. Wind also backing out of there. As KTY continues to chuck in the Thrall Lightning as much as he can. A consistent poke.
They're going to get a Dragon Knight.
His team is safe. Garrosh is going to try and prevent that from being a thing and will manage it as Hanzo was able to prevent Johanna from channeling.
Yeah, Johanna was trying to get that Dragon Knight, of course, but Thrall, KTY really doing a good job here, you know, finding that opening, finding the spot to contest the top shrine again. Minus healing on the Garrosh. Here comes the Ring of Frost.
BFG finishes off Thrall, taken out with the isolation onto Garrosh. He might be taken out here. Does he have Indomitable? He has Taunt. They Twilight Dream onto Timeless, but the potion save his life. And Jada tries to ice block, thinking another shot would come in, but she's able to back up.
Ooh, Hope almost falling victim. They're actually blinking over the wall, getting control back over the shrine, and you know, with the death of Thrall, with a 5 versus 4 situation, and a cheeky tongue by Hikari, I think they might find another kill and then take the Dragon Knight.
They might. Hanzo might be that target, but Lufel takes the wall.
Beautiful.
Not going to get the kill, but they will get the Dragon Knight.
Jaina's on the bottom though. Ooh, just made it in time. Yeah, nice job, well played.
Ju takes the bottom moon shrine here. Hanzo's on his way to top, so they're just going to continue to dance around and prevent this Dragon Knight.
All right. Whew. The CE now can take a breather. They can take a little bit of a timeout here to maybe regroup and recollect themselves. But what I really like about KT as well is the way they play the map. You know, they're rotating, they're getting siege chains and bruiser camps all the time, so that there's always something to do in the map for CE, and they can never really fully commit to those 5 versus 5 team fights. But now CE, they know that something fishy is going on there in the bottom half of the map, and they're applying the pressure in the top. Can they get the Haka though? Oh,
dodges the taunt, doesn't dodge the toss, gets rooted, but he's out of there. Hikari escapes, and now with Timeless here, it's going to force CE to back away from this fort. In the meantime, Hape's doing Hape things.
Hape is doing Hape things indeed. All he needs to do is just walk out of those blizzards. He doesn't even care. He's got the 50 armor from the siege, and that is Tetra, that is a mighty wave.
It's a very mighty wave, but they appear to be abandoning it because they don't have everyone here. GWT dodges the Groundbreaker. The extra knockback from Hammer in siege mode at the level 13. As we see Zuyu trying to survive Hope. Gets taken out by the siege agents. Hope 1v2s. In the meantime, Twilight Dream will take down the Deccan Cave, though, as here comes the Purification Summer from the other side. Looking for KTY as Hikari will separate him out. And in the meantime, Hope continues to 2v1.
Are you kidding me? We didn't even see how that went, right? Because the camera was really focused on Hope. But how in the world did he get the 2 kills?
He literally just ran up to them, did so much damage because they stood next to each other for every single Arsenal synergy. So
I can't believe.
He killed Jada by attacking Hanzo at one point. That is how Jada died.
Hope and Hape, is that the new secret strategy? It's not secret anymore. Is that the new miracle, the new remedy that basically equalizes all the other weaknesses KT had? Are they the strongest team in the league right now, Tetcher?
Well, it sure as hell ain't the music style Hape Hop. As we see them moving forward, Hape Hope as they move forward for the core. Instead, it is a good duo in Heroes of the Storm as they move forward for the core. Wind just eating so many hammer shots as, guess what? The giant killer is online. Wind eats the percentage damage and he will go down. Wow. Dragon Knight on the core, and our champions are beginning to fall here as we see the core falling down. Do they have enough damage? Hope is low. Hape is is low. Timeless is really low. Here comes the salvo for the attempt to try and end the game. Good ice block to teleport away from Hope as the core drops low. There's the sleep onto just one member.
That's
they
it.
Two
they
members,
did it.
Sorry, and they take down the core. And KT takes game number 1.
And look at the emotions there. KT raising their arms up high in the air because that worked as planned. It was a risk